How did a simple loophole cause you to be investigated by your entire school? Halfway through lunch one Tuesday, I was staring at a wrinkled cafeteria receipt when it hit me. Our dessert system was broken. If you bought the hot lunch, you got a receipt that could be traded in for a free dessert. Most kids used it once for pudding or a cookie. But the lunch lady, sweet old Mrs. Delgado, barely looked at the slips. She just smiled, waved you through, and let you grab whatever you wanted. So I tested it. Walked up, held out my receipt, snagged a chocolate pudding. Easy. Sat back down, grinned at my buddy Evan, then got right back up. Same receipt, same smile, second pudding. Evan's eyes went wide. You're insane. By trip 3, I had cookies. By trip 4, kids were whispering. By trip 5, my tray looked like a diabetic's nightmare. Evan leaned in, hissing, "You're gonna get caught." But at this point, I wasn't just eating. I was innovating. The whispers spread. A girl from chemistry named Mia tossed me her receipt. "Grab me a brownie?" she asked. Suddenly, I wasn't just a kid with a sweet tooth. I was running a dessert distribution empire. Kids from 3 tables away were sliding me receipts like contraband. Every trip I returned with more. Brownies, cookies, pudding cups, stacked to the ceiling. My tray looked like a vending machine exploded. By my 11th trip, the lunchroom had turned into a sporting event. Every time I walked back with another dessert haul, kids were chanting my name. Even the 7th graders who'd never spoken to me were suddenly treating me like I was Robin Hood, except instead of gold, I was handing out Jell-O. That's when Mrs. Flores, the math teacher on lunch duty, noticed. She narrowed her eyes, watching me march past with my receipt like I was waving a golden ticket. My heart was pounding, but the chant behind me was too loud to ignore. I held the receipt higher and grabbed another cookie. And then, betrayal. Mrs. Flores stormed over to our table and demanded to know who was responsible. Before I could even open my mouth, Evan pointed at me and blurted, "It was Jordan. He's been using the same receipt all lunch period." The cafeteria went dead silent. Kids gasped. Someone actually booed Evan for snitching. Meanwhile, Mrs. Flores dragged me out of my seat like I'd just been caught counterfeiting money, straight to Principal Hughes's office. I sat down across from him, tray still stacked with desserts like evidence in a criminal trial. He leaned back, hands folded, and said, "Explain." So I did, step by step, detail by detail. I laid out how their dessert system had a fatal flaw. Hughes stared at me like I was confessing to masterminding Watergate. He muttered about budget leaks and systemic exploitation while rubbing his temple, but he didn't stop there. He launched a full investigation. I'm talking security footage from every camera in the cafeteria, interviews with witnesses, teachers being asked for written statements. My parents were even called in for a conference about my pattern of manipulative behavior, all because I grabbed 12 pudding cups with the same slip of paper. The next morning, Hughes got on the intercom and announced sweeping cafeteria reforms. From that day forward, 1 dessert per student per day. Every receipt would be hole punched upon use. They rewrote the whole policy manual because of me. But instead of shame, I became a legend. In the hallways, kids would nudge each other and whisper, "That's him, the dessert king." One sophomore actually asked for my autograph on a receipt. Teachers gave me smirks like they wanted to laugh but had to keep up appearances. Even Mrs. Delgado, the lunch lady who'd unknowingly greenlit my heist, gave me an extra smile when I passed through the line. Evan tried to apologize later, but I wasn't letting that go. "Snitches don't get brownies," I told him. For the rest of the semester, he had to buy me cookies from the vending machine just to crawl back into my good graces. The peak moment came a week later. I was back in line for a perfectly normal lunch when Mrs. Delgado leaned over the counter, slipped me a cookie, and whispered, "You were clever, mijo. Too clever." So yeah, I got investigated like a white-collar criminal over cafeteria pudding. The school board rewrote policy. My reputation skyrocketed, and to this day, kids still joke that if you want dessert loopholes, you come to me. All because I realized one little truth: never underestimate what a single crumpled receipt can do.